Okay, here we have conformal dimension, degenerate dimension, and junk dimension, large dimension, large and master dimension, we can say, and mini dimension, slowly changing dimension, static dimension, and aggregate dimension, and multi-value dimension. Okay. First we'll say conformal dimension. If the dimension table shared by multiple fact tables, if the dimension is shared by multiple fact tables, we can say that is conformal dimension. Yeah, Sukant, tell me.
Yeah, okay. That is, I'm unable to hear my voice. I'm thinking like that, so I was asking you. So if I want any questions on a doubts now, so I was sure. I mean, I could answer now. That was okay.
Yeah, actually I have kept in mute. Any queries, unmute
Okay.
yourself and ask me so that we can avoid disturbance. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. If the dimension table shared by multiple fact tables, we can say the dimension is called as conformal dimension. For example, if you take time dimension, it is shared by sales fact as well as budget fact. If a single dimension shared by multiple fact tables, then we can say that is conformal dimension.
Karthik, just one question. Are you recording the session?
Yes.
Okay. So after this meeting, you
Yeah.
will be sharing that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
The dimension shared by multiple fact tables. Then we can say then the dimension is called as conformal dimension. Initial 2 to 3 sessions will be a little bit slow. Then we can speed up the sessions. Next one is degenerate dimension. Degenerate dimension means it is actually an attribute in fact table, but that is used to satisfy latest requirements from the customer. That means after creating data model, sometimes if there are any new requirements, instead of disturbing entire data model, they will add new requirements as new columns in the fact table. Such dimensions are called as degenerate dimensions. After creating data model, if there are any new requirements, sometimes instead of disturbing entire data model, new requirements will be added new columns in the fact table. Such type of dimensions are called as degenerate dimension.
Hello, Karthik.
Yes.
Could you repeat once again, no, please? Could you explain me once again?
Yeah. For example, here we have created some data model by taking some 4-dimension table, some fact table. Okay. After creating this one, there is some other new requirement. For example, average number of goods sold per order. Okay. For this requirement, if you want to modify the data model, means we need to rebuild entire data model again. We need to load dimension tables again. We need to load fact tables again. We need to do everything. So instead of disturbing entire data model, simply they will add new requirement as new column in the fact table instead of disturbing entire data model. In some scenarios, these dimensions are called as degenerate dimensions. Degenerate dimension is actually an attribute. Attribute means column. It is an attribute in fact table. And use it to satisfy latest requirements from the customer. For example, here the average number of goods sold for example, sale quantity by order number. For example, some requirement. If there are any new requirements, instead of disturbing entire data model, we need to add those requirements as new columns in the fact table. Those dimensions are called as degenerate dimensions. Degenerate dimension is not actually dimension, it is actually a column in fact table, an attribute in fact table, but that is used to satisfy latest requirements from the customer. Junk dimension. If the dimension attribute contains textual codes or flag variables, then we can say the dimension is called as junk dimension. The dimension table which contains textual codes and flag variables, then it is called as junk dimension. Textual codes means like USD, INR, AUD, for example, currencies. Flag variables means yes or no, true or false, and 1 or 0, male or female. If the dimension table contains textual codes and flag variables, then we can say the dimension is called as junk dimension. Next one is large dimension. If the dimension table contains more number of values or more number of if the dimension table contains more number of columns or more number of rows, more number of records, then we can say the dimension is called as large dimension or monster dimension. Contains more number of rows. More number of rows means more than 2 million records. And or more number of columns. More number of columns means more than 100 columns. Then it is called as large dimension or monster dimension. Okay. If the dimension table contains more number of rows or more number of columns, then we can say then the dimension is called as large dimension or monster dimension. Similarly, mini dimension. If the dimension table contains less number of rows and less number of columns, here are either this one, more number of rows or more number of columns, then we can say the dimension is called as large dimension. Mini dimension means if the dimension table contains less number of rows and less number of columns, both, then we can say the dimension is called as mini dimension. Dimension table contains less number of rows less than 1000 rows and less number of columns less than 5 columns. Then it is called as mini dimension. Next important one is very important one is slowly changing dimension. Slowly changing dimension means SCD. The dimension which changes with respect to number of rows or number of columns over a period of time, then we can say the dimension is called as slowly changing dimension. We'll see in detail. The dimension which changes with respect to number of rows or number of columns over a period of time, then it is called as, then the dimension is called as slowly changing dimension. So first we'll say example, then we'll come to in slowly changing dimension. There are three types. Three types: type 1, type 2, type 3. Type 1, type 2, type 3. Type 1 maintains latest data only, and type 2 maintains complete information about all transactions. Type 3 maintains current values along with its immediate previous values. Type 3 maintains current values along with its immediate previous values. Okay. Now I'll say some example. I'll take some table, product number, product name, product cost. Okay. For example, product number 101. Assume that some laptop company, some product is Dell. Cost is some 55,000. 102 HP. Cost is some 45,000. 103 Lenovo. Assume that cost is some 40,000. Okay. Okay. Assume that after loading this table, assume that product cost is Dell cost is changed from some 55,000 to, for example, 60,000. Product cost changed from 55,000 to 60,000. 60,000. Okay. Now in type 1 will maintain only current values, present latest values only. I'm saying 101 Dell, only latest value is 60,000. 102 HP 45,000 and 103 Lenovo 40,000. Type 1 maintains only latest data, latest values only. Next we'll see type 2. Type 2 maintains complete information about all transactions. Complete information about all transactions. That means if product cost changes 10 times, it will maintain all those 10 values. Complete information about all transactions means, say 101 Dell, cost is 55,000. 102 HP, cost is 45,000. 103 Lenovo, cost is 40,000. Now Dell cost is changed from 55,000 to 60,000, latest value. 101 Dell 60,000. For example, if Dell cost is changed 10 times, it will maintain all those 10 values. Type 2 maintains complete information about all transactions. Next one is type 3. Type 3 maintains.
Karthik, one question.
Yeah.
See, yeah, British here. One question.
Yeah.
See, in type 2, we are maintaining all the historical value as well as current value.
Yeah.
That's fine. But what about the primary key here? If you're seeing no 101 is repeating, right? So how they'll identify no which is the latest one?
Yeah, in such cases, they'll we need to create some surrogate keys. Yeah, just for example sake, we are explaining this one. A small table, no?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. In type 3 maintains current values along with its immediate previous values. For example, 101 product name Dell, previous cost 55,000, present cost 60,000. 102 HP and no previous cost, present cost is 45,000. 103, yes, Lenovo, present cost is this one. This one. Type 3 maintains only current values along with its immediate previous values. For example, if Dell broadcast changed 10 times, it will not maintain 10 values. It will maintain only 2 values. Present value along with its immediate previous value. Only 2 values. Type 3. And type 2 maintains complete information about all transactions. For example, if Dell broadcast changes 10 times, if it changes 10 times, it will maintain 10 values. In type 3, it will maintain only 2 values, present value along with its immediate previous value. Type 1 maintain only latest value. Broadcast is changed to 60,000. It will maintain only 60,000. Type 2 maintains all the transactions. For example, if Dell broadcast changes 10 times, means it will maintain all those 10 values. Type 3 maintains only 2 values. Present cost along with its immediate previous cost. Present value along with its immediate previous value. Same. Now, if go to definition, the dimension which changes with respect to number of rows or number of columns over a period of time, then we can say the dimension is called as slowly changing dimension, SCD. Here say over a period of time, here number of rows are changing, here number of columns are changing. So we can say this is slowly changing dimension. In SCD, same. Table will not be changed frequently. For example, these dimensional values will be changed very slowly, because if you take any podcast will not be changed frequently, maybe per year once or for 2 years once, like that. Okay, dimensional values will be changed very slowly. Okay, yes, the dimension which changes with respect to number of rows or number of columns for a period of time, then we can say the dimension is called as slowly changing dimension. Here we have 3 types: type 1, type 2, type 3. Type 1 maintains latest data only. Type 2 maintains complete information about all transactions. And type 3 maintains current values along with its immediate previous values. Next one is static dimension. Static dimension means after loading a dimension table, the table will never change. The table data will never change. For example, if you take country names and currency names, the data will never change. The dimension which is loaded with the dimension which is loaded with data only once in a project life cycle time and will never change, then we can say the dimension is called as static dimension. If the dimension is loaded with data once in a project life cycle time and will never change, then it is called as static dimension. For example, let's say country names and currency names. Next one is aggregate dimension. Aggregate dimension means the dimension which is loaded at base level and is possible to calculate aggregate functions like sum, average, min, max, etc. Then we can say the dimension is called as aggregate dimension. The dimension which is loaded at base level and is possible to calculate aggregate functions like sum, average, min, etc. is called as aggregate dimension. Next one is multi-value dimension. If the dimension attributes contains many to many relationship within the data, then we can say the dimension is called as multi-value dimension. So, example say here we have car column as column. If you take car, for each and every car in color there may be multiple occurrences. For each and every car there may be multiple occurrences. For example, if you take Swift car may be in red color, it may be in blue color, it may be in white color. For a single value here, there will be many occurrences. Similarly, if you take color, if you take red color, that may be for Swift, that may be for Santro, that may be for Innova. So, if the dimension attributes contains many to many relationship within the data, then we can say the dimension is called as multi-valued dimension. If the dimension attributes contain many to many relationship within the data, then the dimension is called as multi-valued dimension. Next we'll go for types of fact tables. Snapshot fact table. If I have snapshot fact table, then cumulative fact table, next one is factless fact table. Factless fact table. Snapshot fact table contains information at specific point of time. For example, sales on particular date, sales on particular time, like that. Snapshot fact table contains information at specific point of time. And cumulative fact table contains information about a period, sales from particular date to particular date, sales from particular time to particular time. Cumulative fact table contains information about a period, and factless fact table actually doesn't contain any facts information, means actually doesn't contain any numerical information, but that information is useful for analysis purpose. For example, student attendance values will be present or absent, but actually this is not numerical information, but it is useful for analysis purpose. How many students present, how many students absent, students present percentage, absent percentage, like that. Okay. Snapshot fact table contains information at a specific point of time. Sales on some particular some 0101 some 2016, and the cumulative fact table contains information about a period. It contains information about a period. For example, sales from 0101 2016 to 3101 2016 for a period. Next one is
One question, Karthik.
yeah,
The first one, right?
yeah,
That is snapshot,
yeah,
which contain the data for that. For example, 01/01/2016. Only that date
yeah,
data or
yeah. Only
to
that
that
date.
data?
Only that
Only
date.
that date.
Specific point.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The fact table which doesn't contain any fact information. The fact table which doesn't contain any fact information is called as factless fact table. For example, to track the attendance of a student, to check the product availability in a store. In a store.
What will be value in second case? Check product availability.
Available or unavailable, like that.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm able to see. So, Kant, are you not able to see my screen? If possible, rejoin. You need to check your internet connection. I think if it is slow, you need to face those kind of issues. I'm not able to hear you.
Probably we can chat here.
Yeah, he's chatting already.
Okay, okay. I think rejoining will do because initially I was also facing issue.
Yeah.
Now okay.
He's all okay. He's offline.
One more we have. What is that caller two? He is one or somebody else?
Sukant itself, but he's in offline mode. Yeah.
I think now he came online.
Yeah, Sukant, can you hear me?
Sometime it may be problem with the browser also. Maybe better we can use Google Chrome actually. It is better
Okay.
because I face sometime no I have some this kind of issues, but Google Chrome doesn't give us any problem.
Okay. Okay. To check flight availability, like that. Student attendance means present or absent. Flight availability means available or unavailable. Available product or unavailable products. Flight available means available flights or unavailable flights, like that. Actually, this is not numerical information, but it is useful for analysis purpose. This type of fact tables are called as factless fact table.
Okay.
Next one is types of facts, means numerical information types. additive facts, semi-additive facts, and non-additive facts. If we calculate facts information based on all the dimension tables, then we can say these facts are called additive facts. If we calculate facts information based on all dimension tables, then we can say these facts are called as additive facts. And if we calculate facts information by using one or few dimension tables but not all, then we can say,
Hello, Karthik.
yeah,
Hello. Are
yeah,
you able to hear now?
yes, yes,
Okay. Go on.
okay. Okay. The facts which can be calculated or aggregated from one or few dimension tables but not all, then we can say those facts are called as semi-additive facts. And next one is non-additive facts, the facts which cannot be calculated from any one of the dimension tables, then we can say those are non-additive facts.
Okay.
The
So this is with respect to dimension only, right?
dimension,
Yeah, okay. So
dimensions,
I thought that within the fact, we are not able to calculate. It is not like that, right? Within the
yeah,
with respect to dimension, if we are
yeah,
able to calculate,
yeah,
then
yeah,
we call semi-additive or additive
yeah,
or
yeah,
non-additive.
yeah. Non-additive
Okay.
means within fact itself, based on other facts, we will calculate some other new fact. We can say that is
Can you give
non.
any example of non-additive or semi-additive?
For example, if we calculate fact information based on all dimension tables, customer, product, if we take fact means that must be related to all dimensions. Okay.
Okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
If there's some particular fact is depending on only few dimensions, if we calculate a fact based on few dimensions, not all, we can say that is semi-additive. Non-additive means within fact itself, we'll create one more column independent of dimension tables.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say give you notes later. Okay, I'll send you detailed notes. Next one is approaches to build data warehouse. Warehouse. Here we have top-down approach and bottom-up approach. In top-down approach, first on top of databases, we need to build data warehouse. Okay. In top-down approach, first on top of data warehouses, sorry, on top of databases, we need to build enterprise data warehouse. From this enterprise data warehouse, a group of related data will be extracted and we will create some smaller data warehouses. Those smaller data warehouses are called as data marts. These data marts are called as dependent data marts. If we create data marts based on data warehouse, we can say these are dependent data marts. Or if we create data marts based on source tables, we can say these are independent data marts. In top-down approach, first databases, then data warehouse, then data marts. These data marts are dependent data marts. But in bottom-up approach, first on top of source systems, source databases, we need to build data warehouses, sorry, data marts. Then by integrating all these data marts, we will create enterprise data warehouse. These data marts are called as independent data marts, dependent data marts and independent data marts. Okay. All these are some concepts related to BI. I'll send you detailed notes related to this one with examples. Go to that one. And